Hi, my name's Lane and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing discipline as an artist. I was debating even posting this video because I don't have any nice introduction. I literally just have the painting process from the beginning of my sketchbook. I have no clips of setting up my paints or anything quote unquote aesthetic, and I kind of felt a bit disappointed in myself for not having this, and I was debating whether I'd post it. And then I took a step back and I was like, do you know what? I've set myself a deadline of trying to post every Sunday, and I've created the paintings, so I may as well share them. Also, I am happy with the paintings that I'm sharing. That's not the problem. It's the video. And I kind of felt like I need to stop making excuses for myself. Not every week is going to have the most perfect painting video, and that's okay. I just got to focus on making sure that I continue to improve and carve out time to paint, but also to film, because primarily my passion is painting and art, and I do enjoy filming also, and I want to make sure that I put out videos that I'm happy with. So I wanted to talk about discipline in terms of art, while also I suppose I will be touching a bit on YouTube and posting and stuff like that. So for me, this sketchbook that I'm working in, I suppose I should tell you what I'm painting first. Maybe I'm painting a simple kind of still life. I've been really trying to take photographs of just everything and anything in my everyday life. So this was just a photo I had of a sandwich that I got, a smoothie, and my book, and I just took a photo of it. And I'm trying to make sure that I take more photos so that I have more references to paint, so then I just have a bank of resources whenever I do feel like painting, and that I'm not stuck wondering, oh, what could I paint? So I do try and set up little kind of nice compositions and take the photograph, and also I focus on having things with varieties of colour. Like, I absolutely loved that the packaging on this sandwich was pink and the smoothie was a lovely red colour. So there was really nice contrasting colours with the pinks and the reds and the blue, and the table was really dark, and I just thought this was really nice. So yeah, one thing I'm doing is trying to make sure I'm taking lots of photographs of my everyday life and yeah, use them as references. Another thing that I've been doing is leaving my sketchbook on my desk, just like clearing off my space, literally my desk, that I just have my sketchbook left there and nothing else, and I have my paints stored in this brown kind of woven basket. It's kind of like a little mini picnic basket, but I put all my paints in there, and I just find it's so easy to grab. I have it on a shelf, so easy to grab, and I can just get all my paints out and paint whenever I want. So that's two things I've been doing, because I used to have all my paints in their packet, and I just found it so tedious having to constantly put them back into the packet, because I also liked when they were like in order in colour, and then I just get really frustrated because I'd be like spending too much time putting them into the packet. So now I just have them all in this kind of box, and I just find it works way better for me. So I finished this painting. Again, I'm not sure if I said, but I've been using gouache paints, and I just love them. They're so creamy. They're just Winsor & Newton gouache paints. This next one, so I was cleaning out, I'm referencing this painting that I did already in my sketchbook earlier in the year. This mirror I found when I was clearing out one of my wardrobes. So I'm currently trying to declutter my room kind of slowly. So I'm trying to do like one little section each week, because otherwise I'll get overwhelmed. And I found this mirror up there, and I think I had this when I was in college, and I was in a room, like I was renting, and I was in a bedroom that had no mirror, so I got this tiny little mirror, and I literally have not used it since. And I was kind of looking at it, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, because there was actually paint spilled on it. Of course there was. So then I saw the paint spilled on it, and I was like, maybe I could paint on top of this. And I actually have never painted on top of a mirror. So this is another thing that I think is brilliant is to, like, if you're trying to be disciplined with your art practice, if you are just doing the same thing over and over again, like say working in your sketchbook, sometimes it can become a bit stale. So it's good to switch up the surfaces, I think. Like this was actually really fun because it felt so silky painting onto the mirror. I was like, this is very strange, and it kind of like refocused my brain when I was painting because I wasn't used to this slippy surface, and I really liked it. And it kind of made the paints feel like they were translucent in a way. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like they were layering quite clearly, whereas like when you paint on paper, they absorb into the paper, they kind of sit on the surface differently. It was just really interesting. But that's something that I try and do often, is experiment with different materials and now different surfaces. I also found like 3 tiny photo frames, and I think after painting on this, I think it'd be really nice to paint on them, or even just paint the frames because they're quite old looking. They're kind of like, they were white and grey frames, but they kind of look cream now, so maybe I'll do that in my next video. But yeah, I think it's important to sometimes switch up what you're doing just so you don't get bored. And again, I've mostly used paint, but I do try to use pens, inks. That's kind of it. Pens and inks and paint. Sometimes I like to do collage as well, but that's kind of the main things I've been doing to try and stay disciplined. I also have been trying to remind myself, like if I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm like, is this really a good use of my time? And I tend to actually stop and go painting because I genuinely feel better after I paint and use my sketchbook. And sometimes I'll just put on a little YouTube video in the background, and it's just really cozy. And honestly, I just recommend painting to anyone. So this is the finished little painting. It's quite simple, but I really like it. I think it came out really nice. I think I might put it up on top of one of my shelves. I think it'll look really nice against my pink background. Hopefully see you in the next video.